Hi guys. So today we are going to use these notes to help us do the homework. And don't forget, so the F and then the arrow to the D, in order to change from a fraction to a decimal, you're going to look at this stuff up here. In order to change from a decimal to a percent, you're going to look at this rule right here. Percent to a decimal, you're this rule. Decimal to a fraction is this rule. And then we wrote, if you want to change from a percent to a fraction, you're going to put the percent over 100, and then you're going to simplify it. So that's the rule for that. And we are going to use this for the homework today. Your homework should look something like this. Everybody should have one that looks like this. I'm going to show you an example, but I'm going to use my example as if my percent were 25. So I'm going to do, let's see, fraction, decimal, percent. Okay, so my percent, let's say it is 25%. If I'm going to change that to a fraction, my notes say that I'm going to put my percent over 100. So I'm going to put 25 over 100. And then in order to simplify that, I have to divide the top and the bottom by the same number. And I can divide the top and the bottom by 25. So 25 divided by 25 is 1. 100 divided by 25 is 4. There's my fraction. I can either change my percent to a decimal or my fraction to a decimal. I think the easiest way for me personally is to do the fraction. So I'm going to put the numerator inside the house, denominator outside the house. We're dividing the numerator by the denominator, okay? 4 cannot go into 1, so I'm going to put a 0 there, add a decimal and a 0 here, and then make my decimal go up to the top. And then 4 will go into 10 2 times, minus 8, that leaves me with 2. And then 4 goes into 20 5 times, 5 times 4 is 20, and there is my decimal, so 25 hundredths. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to change all of that into either a number line or a strip diagram. So if I have the fraction 1/4 and I have the number line, I'm going to start it at 0. I'm going to go to 1, and I'm going to split that into 4 pieces. So the first one is 1/4, then I have 2/4, then I have 3/4, and then if I keep going, I have 4/4, which is the same thing as 1. So you can either put a little dot here on the 1/4, or you can do a little box and shade that in. Either way, I will take either one. And then to do the strip diagram, you're gonna take a fraction bar, and your denominator, which in our case is 4, tells us how many pieces to cut the strip diagram into. So I'm going to cut it into 4 pieces, and they need to go vertical so they look like this. They're side by side. And then the numerator, which is 1, tells us how many to shade. So I've shaded 1 out of 4. Okay. And then the last thing is going to be our 10 by 10 grid. So here's my 10 by 10 grid. I'm just going to use this one on here. So if my percentage is 25, I'm going to use this and I'm going to shade 25%, which is the same thing as just shading 25. So you can either do 10, shade 10, 20, and then do 5. Or you can do just kind of checkerboard or kind of however you want to. It's totally up to you how you want to shade it. It doesn't matter as long as you have 25 out of your 100, which is what our initial, if you change this to a fraction, like we said a second ago, it's 25 over 100, and that's going to be the same thing as we're going to shade 25 out of 100 squares. Okay? If y'all have any questions, guys, please don't hesitate to send me a message on Remind. Send me a message through Canvas. I am available till about 8 o'clock tonight, and then I probably won't see you guys until tomorrow during class. So if you do have any questions, please send me a message. I hope this helped a little bit, and have a great evening, guys.